In this lesson, we're going to again look at functions, but this time a particular one, x squared plus 2. So this reads as f of x equals x squared plus 2, where x is the input and output is f of x, which we can again think of as y on a coordinate diagram. So let's apply the x values here, -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2. So we're going to start with what happens when you do f of -2. Now to write that, you just put f outside the bracket and -2 inside. Essentially you're substituting -2 up into here. So that looks like -2 squared plus 2. Now -2 squared is 4, if you add on 2 is 6. And again, from the last lesson we can think of this as a coordinate. The input is your x coordinate, -2, and the output can be thought of as your y coordinate, which is 6. Okay, let's put -1 into the function and see what comes out. So -1 squared, add 2. So you do -1 squared, if you add on 2, remember -1 squared is -1 times -1, which is +1. So it's 1 add 2, which gives you 3. So the coordinate would be -1, 3. Let's put 0 into it. So you're going to have 0 squared, add on 2, which is 0 times 0, which is nothing. Add on 2, and that's just 2. So the coordinate would be 0 going in and 2 coming out as your y value. Okay, let's put 1 into the function. So 1 squared plus 2. Now 1 squared is just 1. If you add on 2 you get 3. So the input would be 1 and the output would be 3. And lastly, f of 2, you're just putting a 2 up here. So 2 squared, add 2. So 2 squared is 4, and if you add on 2 you get 6. So an x value of 2 and a y value of 6. Okay, lastly, let's look at functions and let's think about substituting algebra into variables rather than just numbers. So let's look at this function f of x equals 5x take away 3. It says here, write down an expression for f of a in terms of the letter a. So instead of putting a number in, like 2, that would be 5 times 2, we're going to substitute a letter in, so a. So really what you're going to do is 5 lots of a take away 3. Well, that's all you do, you just write it down like that. So you just replace the variable x with the new variable a or b or whatever it is that you're trying to do. From that, quite often you're asked to solve equations that can be set up. One example down here would be if f of a was 22, set up an equation and solve it to find a. So what it's doing here is it's telling us that that bit there is 22. Work out what the input must have been, or the a value. So you can set up a wee equation and say, well, okay, 22 is equal to 5 take away 3. Now if you add 3 to both sides, you'll get okay, well I've switched sides here, which doesn't really matter, but if you add 3 to both sides at this point, you'll get 5a is 25. And then finally to get a, you divide by 5 to give you 5. So the answer to this question was, if f of a was 22, then a would be 5. Just a wee point to note here, I'm saying that f of x and y are the same thing. So if you've got an input of x, the output is what you come out of the function, which is f of x, but that can be also thought of as xy. It's just the same idea. Sometimes in a coordinate diagram we write f of x up here, but again, some people just understand it as just the y-axis.